The Slender Man nickname. Locking her in the bathroom.
Dumping trash on her.
Don't act like a victim. Toughen up.
A big turning point. Freedom.
Welcome to Ready Tales, a new video, a new story, and we're excited to hear your thoughts. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more.
Today we're looking closely at a really intense personal story called Thanks, Mom. It's all about a mother and daughter dealing with loss and some really tough experiences afterward.
Right. And our focus today is really trying to get inside the mother's head based on what the narrator tells us.
Exactly. Her actions, how she responds or doesn't respond to her daughter's problems, and then this pretty shocking final reveal about her priorities.
Yeah, it's a single narrative, very personal, but it gives us a powerful look at how one parent handles tragedy, handles a child's pain, and we're going to try and unpack the mother's behavior.
Okay, so let's start at the beginning. The story kicks off with the death of the narrator's father. It's clear this loss is just huge for her.
Oh, absolutely. The way she puts it, like she couldn't breathe without him, that tells you everything about that bond.
Yeah. And then almost immediately, the mother shifts gears. Hard. 2 jobs, working constantly.
14 hours a day, 7 days a week, the narrator says. It's clearly about survival, keeping things afloat financially after losing her partner.
You have to admire the sheer effort, the, determination to provide. But the flip side, according to the narrator, is this emotional void.
Right. No shared grieving, no comfort, it seems. Just work. They're both hurting, but like in separate bubbles.
Could that intense work be, a way for the mother to cope herself, avoid her own grief?
That's definitely a possibility. I mean, losing your partner, suddenly being the sole provider, burying yourself in work could feel like the only way to stay standing, emotionally, financially, everything.
Sure.
But the impact on the daughter is clear in the narrative. She needed that emotional support, and it just wasn't there. This pattern, prioritizing the practical over the emotional, it kind of sets a tone early on.
Okay, so then we move into high school, and this is where the bullying starts. Maddie.
Ah, yes, Maddie. Described as the rich, pretty, but cruel queen bee.
And the bullying sounds awful. Not just teasing, but really targeted stuff. The Slender Man nickname. Locking her in the bathroom.
Dumping trash on her. Yeah, these aren't small things. It's a sustained, hostile campaign designed to humiliate and isolate her.
And the worst part, maybe, is when she tries to tell her mom. And the response that she gets, don't act like a victim, toughen up, grow a spine. It's just...
It's incredible dismissive, isn't it? Like she's actively pushing her daughter's pain away, refusing to engage with it.
Why, though? What's behind that? Is it just lack of empathy, overwhelm?
It's hard to know for sure, just from this account. Maybe the mother genuinely believed that was the only way to survive, toughen up, don't show weakness, because that's what she had to do.
Right.
Or maybe she felt helpless, overwhelmed by work, and couldn't face another problem, so she shut it down, minimized it, blamed the victim, essentially.
That phrase, grow a spine, keeps coming up.
Yeah.
It sounds like advice, but it lands like an accusation.
Exactly. It invalidates the daughter's real fear and pain, and it tells her basically, don't talk to me about this.
And then there's the incident with the teacher. The teacher sees something's wrong, wants to help, but says they need a parent to report it officially.
Yeah, common school policy, unfortunately.
What the mother's reaction? Instead of reporting it, she blames the narrator again for looking weak, for branding herself as a victim.
That moment feels really significant. It's a chance for the mother to step up, to actually do something concrete.
Right.
And instead, she turns it back on her daughter, reinforces this idea that it's somehow the narrator's fault she's being tormented. It's a real failure to protect her child.
And the result? The narrator just shuts down, stops talking, stops crying, stops feeling, she says. Just focuses on grades, lives in books.
Total withdrawal. It's a survival mechanism,
Yeah.
When you can't get support, you retreat. Find control where you can, in academics in this case.
But the emotional cost?
Huge.
Enormous. Creates this isolation, this difficulty connecting later on, which we see, actually. Yeah, because she gets out, wins a scholarship, goes to university, moves away.
A big turning point. Freedom.
And she describes college as positive, but distant. Like, she liked being ignored because it meant no one was hurting her.
Isn't that telling? Relief comes not from connection, but from simply not being actively targeted.
She mentions study invitations, but no real friendships, because she couldn't trust anyone.
Exactly. The damage from the bullying, and maybe more significantly from the lack of support at home, it lingers. It affects her ability to form healthy relationships.
Then she gets financially independent, part-time job, internship, full-time job, her own apartment. She even tells her mom she can quit the second job.
She's taking charge, building her own life brick by brick, and also trying to help her mother, reducing that burden.
And the mom seems happier, dressing up more. Maybe things are improving.
It seems that way on the surface. Less financial stress, perhaps, but we don't really get any indication of, like, deep emotional repair between them. It's still quite practical.
Okay, because then
Yeah.
comes the birthday dinner.
Yeah.
The invitation home.
The moment everything changes, or rather the moment everything becomes clear.
She's invited home to meet her mom's new boyfriend and his kids.
Mhm.
She's looking forward to it, brings gifts.
Seems like a potential positive step, right? A normal family thing.
And then the surprise, the boyfriend's daughter is Maddie, her bully.
It just dropped on her like that. The architect of years of misery, presented as part of this happy new family unit.
The narrator's reaction is pure instinct, right? Freezing, backing away, a defensive gesture.
Completely understandable. It's a trauma response, seeing her abuser unexpectedly in what should be a safe space.
But the mother's reaction to her daughter's distress,
Yeah.
it's just unbelievable.
Accusing her of embarrassing her, saying Maddie's changed, it's all in the past, demanding she apologize and act like a grown-up.
Apologize to Maddie
Mhm.
for reacting to seeing her bully. It's mind-boggling.
It is, and it speaks volumes about where the mother's priorities now lie. It's about protecting her new relationship, smoothing things over for her comfort and the comfort of her boyfriend and Maddie.
Complete invalidation, total prioritization of the new partner over her own child's very real trauma.
It suggests, a profound level of either self-deception or maybe a conscious choice to disregard the past for the sake of her present happiness.
And that's when it clicks for the narrator, the surprise, the blindfold, she calls it. Her mother knew.
That realization must have been devastating. The idea that her mother wasn't just dismissive or overwhelmed back then, but potentially actively protecting this new relationship, even knowing what Maddie did.
Or maybe she found out later when she started dating the dad and chose to ignore it then. Either way,
It's a betrayal. The dismissal of the bullying suddenly looks less like simple parental failure and more like complicity after the fact, at least, protecting the boyfriend and his daughter over her own.
the trust just shatters.
Completely.
And what happens next is intense. She tries to report emotional abuse to the police. She's hysterical, understandably.
Yeah, the police response is noted, advising therapy, which is standard, but it shows her level of desperation.
Then she physically collapses. Stress, dehydration, and her mother's reaction. Still angry, still demanding an apology.
It's quite shocking. Even faced with her daughter's physical collapse, the mother seems unable to shift her perspective or offer any comfort. It's still about her own hurt feelings, her own narrative.
Wow. But then, thankfully, she finds support elsewhere.
Yes, that former school acquaintance steps up, becomes a real friend. Her parents offer support too. A lifeline.
And she decides to take action, legal action, against Maddie, presumably for the bullying and its lasting effects.
Huge step. Reclaiming her power, seeking accountability.
And crucially, others are willing to testify. The teacher, the janitor, the friend, other people in town who knew about Maddie, knew about the mother dating Maddie's dad.
That's significant. It validates her experience. It shows that others saw what was happening, even if her mother chose not to.
And she wins. $50,000 in damages, legal fees paid. It's vindication in a way.
External validation, yes,
Yeah.
the legal acknowledgement of the harm done.
But the reaction from the mother and her new family on Facebook, talking about being disappointed, hoping for healing.
It's just more of the same, isn't it? No acknowledgement, no accountability, just this vague, passive-aggressive language that centers their feelings, not the harm Maddie caused or the mother's role.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
But the narrator's response to that is what matters.
Absolutely. She shares the settlement money with her friend, a beautiful gesture.
Yeah.
Gets her own place, an oceanfront rental, starts therapy. She's building her own future away from them.
Taking care of herself, finally.
Exactly. She's creating safety and prioritizing her own healing.
So, looking back at the mother, it's a journey from seeming strength after loss to this pattern of emotional neglect, and finally to this active prioritization of her new relationship, even at the cost of her daughter's well-being. That surprise dinner feels deliberately cruel almost.
Or at least deliberately blind. It reveals an inability, or perhaps an unwillingness, to truly see her daughter's pain or her own part in it. Her need for her own happiness, her new relationship, seems to have overridden everything else.
It really makes you question parental responsibility, doesn't it?
Yeah, deeply. And the devastating consequences when that responsibility is, well, abdicated.
But the narrator,
Yeah.
her resilience is incredible.
Truly. To go through all that with so little support from the person who should have been her primary protector, and to come out the other side, taking control, seeking justice, building her own life. It's remarkable.
In the end, she did it. She grew that spine her mother was always talking about.
Yes, but on her own terms. Not by silently enduring, but by fighting back, by setting boundaries, by cutting ties to protect yourself.
Which leaves us with a final thought, maybe. What does it really mean to be tough or to grow a spine? Is it enduring silently?
Or is it about the courage to protect yourself, even if it means making painful choices, like distancing yourself from family? And, how often do our own desires, our own needs blind us to the suffering of the people we're supposed to care for the most?
That wraps up today's story. Drop your thoughts below, hit like, share it around, and subscribe so you don't miss next week's episode.